So I got an email the other day from my friend Rajiv, and he had asked me about participating in a project to where I'm going to go to India and teach some kids photography. In the beginning, it just sounded kind of as a fun little thing to do. Wow, I get to go somewhere that's going to be a photographer's paradise and take pictures. It probably wasn't until about the second conversation that we had about this project that things really started to sink in, that it was bigger than just going and taking pictures. So Rajiv told me this story of a girl. I'll just call her Sandhya for a lack of having a name. But he said this really isn't an uncommon story. It was very uncommon for me, but he had said this girl at 11 years old had been raped by three of her friends. And in India, the world over, it's a horrific thing. But in India, it just seems like the girl becomes not the victim, but they become the one that everybody looks down upon. And he had said that the father and mother basically locked this girl away for 3 years, wouldn't let her go to school. They were in fear that something like this rape might happen again to her. They were ashamed of her because of this. And he said that the person who was in charge of their school was kind of visiting families that hadn't been at school for a long time, and they ran across this girl, and she came running out going, I want to be at school, but my parents won't let me. And Rajiv said when he heard that this girl hadn't been in school for this reason, he said the next trip that he was over there, he immediately went to this girl's house and they sat down. He tried to explain to me the house the other day. He was telling me, you don't understand, these people don't have houses. They live in a room. He said it's like 5 foot wide by 10 foot long, and it has a bed on one end that all of them, there's four in the family, sleep in, and it's got a little cabinet and a little kitchenette thing for them to cook in. And that's where their life happens. And this girl's just spent 3 years in there, and they go and they start talking to the parents. And the parents are breaking down, crying and saying, we want her to be there, but it's just not, I don't think it's safe. And he said after a couple hours of talking with them, they agreed to let her back into school. It'd be great if the story ended there and it was the happy ending and she went back to school, but she went back to school for a while, and then Rajiv said on his next trip he started to notice he didn't see her at school anymore. Went back to the house, said, what's going on? And the dad said, Rajiv, can't you talk some sense into her? She had met a boy and was planning on getting married. Now, he started to kind of paint a picture of what marriage would be like for this girl. It wasn't going to be a fairy tale marriage. This girl, because of the background, because of the rape, she was considered tainted goods, and had just found a family that kind of said, yeah, we'll take her in. Her life was going to be, she would be someone's slave. She'd cook for the family, clean for the family, but in her mind, it was a way out. She at least had a roof over her head now. She had food on the table, and that's all she was thinking. They sat and talked with her, and he kept reminding her, what do you want to do with your life? And she kept saying, I want to be a teacher. And so they talked her back into coming back to school, abandoning this idea of becoming a slave for someone else's family. You're made for greater things, and they talked her into coming back to school. That's when this project really started to hit home. How great would it be to put a camera in this girl's hand? A girl that's had no voice. Those of us that love photography, we know that when that camera goes in our hand, we can start telling people about the world around us, what we see, how we see the world. And some of the most powerful images in the world have come from people that have backgrounds just like this young girl. So our goal is to go there. We want to put cameras in the hands of as many kids as we possibly can. We want them to get out there and express themselves. We know just through academics that art really bolsters a kid's education, and it opens up doors for them. It helps them in their critical thinking. It helps them in their expression. And over the next few weeks, we want to start sharing with you how you can be a part of this project. We look forward to speaking to you more. Thanks.